An Indiana police officer gunned down by a suspect in a domestic disturbance this afternoon. Both are dead. Thanks for joining us here at 5. I'm Grace McKenna filling in for Doug and Shay. The whole thing unfolded inside Perry County Memorial Hospital early this morning. Indiana State Police say Tell City Sergeant Heather Glenn was looking into a domestic dispute between Sean Hubert and a female victim. The woman arrived at the hospital, at which time police left to search for Hubert. He arrived at the same hospital a short time later. Police said Sergeant Glenn confronted Hubert, who resisted arrest. She tried to tase him, but Hubert pulled out a gun and shot her. Nearby officers returned fire. Both Hubert and Sergeant Glenn died from their injuries. WHAS11's Alexis Jones and photojournalist Jessica Farley are outside of the county's City Hall, where there is now a memorial in honor of Glenn. Alexis, has anybody been stopping by there this afternoon?
They have, Grace. So many people have stopped by to pay their respects and also to drop off flowers. As you can see, the city says this was Officer Glenn's car that she proudly drove around, bearing the name of the community she served for the last 20 years. A real hometown hero.
And I've never heard one bad thing about her. She's been a great person.
She was a great teammate, a great neighbor, and a great police officer. And our community definitely has lost a good one.
Monday, Sergeant Heather Glenn was shot and killed at Perry County Memorial Hospital after responding to a domestic dispute. News that shook the county to its core.
I was shaken more than I normally am of news like this. She was just a good person. And so it was really shocking.
Jason Martin has been neighbors and friends with Glenn for nearly 15 years. He says she was a kind woman who served her community in and out of uniform.
She took in stray animals. She took care of her neighbors. I think she's mowed nearly every lawn around her house.
Heard stories about her helping children and helping people out and everything.
Resident Riley Horton adds her death is a major loss to the area, especially for Tell City Police Department.
She's a cornerstone of our department. We are extremely heartbroken.
But with the help of the community, Chief Derek Law Allen says they will get through this. And tonight at 8, the city plans to head here again for a candlelight vigil. In Indiana, Alexis Jones, WHAS11 on your side.
Alexis, thank you. We have some other news for you tonight. The suspect in a Friday night murder in Westport Village is dead. Metro Police believe he died by suicide Saturday night. Over the weekend, the coroner identified the victim as 35-year-old Ashley Yates. You see some photos of her on your screen right now. Friday night around 8, she was shot and killed in the parking lot of that shopping center. Linden police first reported to the scene and later got help from LMPD's homicide unit. While police say the case is now effectively closed, Yates' family has a message to share in their moment of grief. Isaiah Kim Martinez reports from Linden.
Ashley Yates' family says the way her life was taken is a tragedy, but her brother says he's using this time not to be angry, rather to celebrate all the hearts his big sister touched.
Today is a gift. Today is a gift. That's why we call it the present.
They're the words Andrew Thompson carries on from his big sister.
So she has this tattoo on her right arm.
2 more written on his arm, La Familia.
That's something I get to share with her for forever.
It's been an indescribable last few days for Thompson, who's put on a strong face for his family.
They love their Aunt Ash, so it sucks that they will be deprived of time with her.
Ashley Yates' life was tragically taken by gun violence. Thompson shedding light on the situation, telling me his sister was also a victim of domestic violence.
Ashley had every reason to leave the person that did this. Her life was threatened before, and she was stuck in a cycle and kept going back to this individual. And he will have to answer to that same God for what he's done.
Thompson tells me he's taking this time to encourage people struggling in abusive relationships to reach out.
And if you need help, ask for it. It doesn't have to be you.
And I'm told there will be a vigil held here at Westport Village sometime this week. We'll be sure to keep you posted on the details at WHAS11.com. In Louisville, Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS11 on your side.
We do also want to note the family has set up a GoFundMe page to help cover funeral costs and to donate to causes like the Center for Women and Families, which helps women struggling to leave abusive relationships. That link is on our website. Intimate partner violence affects more than 12 million people a year, according to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. If you or someone you love feel threatened by a partner, there is help for you 24/7. You can call the number on your screen. That's 800-799-7233. And just in this afternoon, we've learned in the last 30 minutes that Churchill Downs is extending Bob Baffert's suspension. The company says they will extend the suspension through calendar year 2024 based on continued concerns regarding Baffert's threat to the safety and integrity of racing. This move makes him ineligible for next year's Kentucky Derby. Churchill Downs released a statement in part saying Mr. Baffert continues to peddle a false narrative concerning the failed drug test of Medina Spirit at the 147th Kentucky Derby, from which his horse was disqualified by the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission in accordance with Kentucky law and regulations. That statement later goes on to say, quote, a trainer who is unwilling to accept responsibility for multiple drug test failures in our highest profile races cannot be trusted to avoid future misconduct. Sports Director Kent Spencer will have an extensive explanation behind this decision coming up tonight at 6. Today, a man accused of killing his mother appeared in court after spending years inside a psychiatric hospital. Gavin Perkins was first accused of the murder back in 2015, but his initial charge was dropped after he was found incompetent to stand trial. He was admitted to Central State Hospital instead and released last month. Perkins' family appealed his release to the Attorney General's office, leading to a second murder indictment and another arrest. Police say a woman has died in the Iroquois Park neighborhood, killed by a gunshot from a man the floor below her. Charles Webster is charged with reckless homicide in the death of Gwendolyn Smith. The shooting happened on Cambridge Drive. Court documents reveal Webster admitted he was holding a handgun in the basement when it discharged, sending a bullet through the ceiling to the first floor where it hit Smith. An autopsy revealed that bullet hit her in the chest. Smith died at the hospital. We're going to give you a look now at the scene from the Russell neighborhood Sunday. A TARC bus crashed into the side of a barber shop after another car hit that bus. The accident happened around 7 Sunday morning. LMPD said a driver ran a red light and drove straight into the bus. The bus then hit a utility pole before crashing into the barber shop. An LMPD spokesperson said 2 passengers and a driver were on board. All 3 were treated at U of L. The driver of the car and their passenger also received treatment. The injuries aren't serious, which came as a relief to neighbors who say it's still hard to ignore the immense loss.
It's sad. It's just a sad situation. I don't think there's any kind of ease and comfort that someone could tell me had it been my building.
The accident also knocked out power for a couple of thousand people in the area, but line crews did work diligently throughout Sunday to restore it. Today, lawyers representing both the Louisville Urban League and its former president appeared in court for a hearing about a pending misappropriations lawsuit. The 2 sides will meet again on July 27th for arguments on whether or not to dismiss the case. Here's what happened here. Dr. Kishkumi Price alleges she was unjustly fired from her job as the nonprofit's president for bringing up financial discrepancies. The lawsuit alleges Price was, quote, informed of and began to witness what she believed was the misappropriation of grants and other funds on her first day in the new role. Lawyers for the Urban League say Price can't prove anyone from the league told her to break the law or if the league ever broke any laws. We want to get to our weather now because, Alden, for the first time in a very, very long time, we're seeing a little bit of sunshine across Kentucky, and it feels like it's been a minute.
Sunshine and actually dry weather all day, too, so that is a nice relief, but it has been very beneficial rain for us, and we haven't been too hot either, which is also good news. Normally, this time of the year, we can be sweltering. 87 was our high today, just a couple of degrees shy of normal, which is 89, and we're still sitting at 87 at this moment. A bit humid, feels like 90 degrees out there, but there is a decent breeze helping to mix up that air a little bit. So it doesn't feel too bad. That breeze out the northwest at 10 miles per hour. Looking at Max HD radar, largely dry, but we do have a couple of isolated showers up to our northeast right now, moving through North Vernon, and it's heading southward toward the Madison area in Jefferson County, Indiana. But otherwise, you can expect dry weather for us throughout the course of tonight. We don't really have too much showing up around our area. A couple of showers back to our northwest, but I don't really anticipate those will be causing much problem for for us for tonight. Now, we're going to be staying mostly dry for our 4th of July holiday tomorrow. We could have a couple of isolated downpours, but I don't anticipate that ruining any outdoor plans that you have ahead. I will stop Futurecast hour by hour for tomorrow. We'll see when the best chance of maybe seeing a stray shower could be. Great.